So, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, folks.
Tucker and Dale versus Ice
is the movie we're talking about. And this movie, I think it had like a lot of like support on the internet. I mean, there's a lot of people. I'd heard the name months and months and months ago. People talking about, I'm like, what the fuck is Tucker and Dale versus Evil? Because the first thing I thought of for some reason was Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
I thought it said Trucker and Dale. Like, I thought it was like Trucker Dale versus Evil.
I mean, I'd heard about this movie for a long time before it even came out, but then it seemed like it just faded away, and I hadn't heard anything else about it in a long time until we got the discs of it. But it's really nothing like even I would have thought it would have been like by how people were describing it, because the way it seems like is it would be one of those movies that was just like a nonstop gore fest, kind of like that Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. Like, that's how I had it envisioned. Like, they would be like bounty hunters for evil or something like that. But that's really not what it is at all.
Yeah, and actually the plot is a little misleading too, because there's not really any evil in the movie.
I think, and then once you watch the movie, then you realize that what the evil is that they're talking about. That it's more.
Evil inside your head.
It's more of an evil presence, not so much it's like an evil thought of how two groups of people can think negatively about each other. Yeah. I think that was the evil. It's such a really, really smart movie.
Well, the basic plot of the movie is two separate groups of people. One is a couple of buddies named Tucker and Dale, who, along with another separate group of college kids. And I guess Tucker and Dale are like in their, late 20s, early 30s, and they're college kids, of course. And they both decide to go off the country for the weekend, and the teenagers have these false, interpretations, I guess, of the Tucker and Dale, like they're just crazy hillbillies that are out to kill them. And accident after accident, like the teenagers kind of die off, and you know what? The plot is way worse than, I think it's way better than it sounds, the movie. Like,
really, if I don't know, you probably never even seen the show, but it's like, this movie is basically like a feature-length horror film interpretation of a fucking episode of Three's Company, where everybody hears everything wrong. Like, they misinterpret everything that the other people are saying and what they're doing and things like that, and they think that one thing's going on that's not actually going on. Like, the hillbillies in this film are actually not at all murderous or anything like that, but all the college kids think that they are. Yeah, so they try to, kill them.
It's a perfect stereotype where they take two groups of people. One would be that all groups of wealthy college kids are dumb as shit, and a group of people from the South are dumb as shit hit murderers. And it's kind of like, ever since Deliverance, you see how Deliverance, a group of people that are from the South are just murderers and rapists and weirdos and freaks. And then pretty much every group of people in horror movies, Friday the 13th and Halloween and stuff like that, they're a group of retarded college, high school students. And that in itself, I would have never thought that taking just two groups and their stereotypes would be a really good movie. It was hilarious, but it was really smart. I loved it. I watched it like 3 times. I did.
Wow.
I did. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think that the weird thing is too, is both of the leads, Tyler Labine and Alan Tudyk.
How was it pronounced?
They're both mainstream actors. They've been in a lot of mainstream stuff. I mean, they haven't actually been stars, but they've been main players in a lot of the movies.
Yeah, the one guy that I'm sure everybody would recognize because everybody's seen this movie at one point or another is the pirate guy from Dodgeball. Is the one character. I don't know if he's Tucker or Dale. I think he's Tucker.
He's Tucker.
Yeah, and then Dale, you said you'd seen him in a movie recently.
Most recently he was in the New Planet of the Apes movie. He was one of the main scientists in it. And they've been in a ton of stuff, these guys.
Which explains why this movie is incredibly well acted by them, I suppose. I mean, they've been character actors for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it really really is a shame that, and this goes to show that movies that kind of get brushed under the rug, that don't get a lot of attention, mainstream, are very good movies. And see, I would have never even thought of seeing this movie if it wasn't for this show.
Here's the one thing
That's the thing.
We were talking about seeing these movies, not being able to see them in mainstream, and like, there's a lot of out online right now about like they're actually changing, like in 3 or 4 years, every theater will be digital. So maybe, and when that time comes, that you'll get more of these movies like this, possibly in theaters, because it doesn't cost as much to actually, produce the prints and all that stuff.
That's a good point. I hope so anyway, because really this movie to me was like one of the biggest surprises that I've had all year in terms of films that I really, really liked. This one was...
Where'd you get this at? This is the Blu-ray.
This one was... it's well acted. It really is a funny movie, but it doesn't try to be stupid funny. As a matter of fact, it makes fun of all the stupid, like, cliches that movies always try to exploit, like these type of movies always try to exploit. It had a really great story, which is that throughout the film, they're not really killing anybody. It's just all these people are trying to kill them, but end up through, like,
basically
accidents.
The stupid teenagers end up killing themselves.
Yeah, right.
We need to get a hold of this guy, the Eli Craig. I'm trying to do an interview with him.
Who is he? Is he the director?
He's the director and one of the writers. Morgan.
Or we could get Alan Tudyk.
We gotta get Alan Tudyk.
Who's the redhead? Because I'd like to get him on here.
Tudyk.
I think that's Tyler Labine. Tyler Labine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is he Canadian?
I don't know, but let's get him.
Tyler Labine. Yeah, so Tucker and Dale, like, is actually, for some reason, I don't know, I was just reading the back of it, and I was like, how in the fuck could this actually be good? But it is actually really good. I mean, it's, a lot of the times, like with horror comedy movies, it's either, way too much comedy or way too much. And this was kind of balanced.
I think that's what they did right in this. So they didn't try to make it stupid. Like, they didn't try to go over the top with every single scene in the movie trying to be hilarious.
It was very
and they actually did build the characters pretty well, too. And especially Dale, and he falls in love with one of the college chicks or whatever.
Yeah, it seems... They paid a lot of attention to the right characters. They had the really dumb, stupid blonde and the really crazy the heroic boy who thought that he was being heroic, and then the one kid who actually had an idea that maybe something wasn't the way it was, that he got killed off on accident too. And it was just funny. It was perfect. I don't know, they must have took a lot of time writing this movie.
Yeah. Believe the hype with this one. This is actually a pretty good movie. And Magnet actually has this out. I think it just recently came out. Magpictures.com. Check it out, or magnetreleasing.com. The Blu-ray. What do you think of the Blu-ray of this, Uncle Bill?
I thought that it looked pretty excellent. I didn't watch the DVD, so I don't know what to compare it to or anything like that, but...
Yeah, I thought it looked okay. I mean, a lot of these lower budget movies where they just use the digital cameras and stuff, it's not going to look as good as mainstream stuff, but it still looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, so on this, though, and I really want to say, though, I couldn't recommend this movie anymore because it is a movie that really doesn't get made that much anymore. It's
really recommend the Blu-ray.
It's something completely different, I'll say that. You got special features including making of Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Tucker and Dale Are Evil, the college kids' point of view, outtakes, storyboards, commentary with the director and the 2 stars, and a theatrical trailer. You can get that, like he said, through Magnolia Home Entertainment or Magnet Releasing. Check that shit out.
So it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's actually out in Walmart. We saw it in Walmart, so you can get it there.